Express front page. I'm not racist, says Lee Anderson. He's speaking for the Tory faithful. Just tell us a bit more context about what he had to say.
Yeah, so he's written in the Express today, declaring that he's not a racist, saying that he won't apologise for the comments that he made about Sadiq Khan, and kind of doubles down on the fact that he doesn't believe that Sadiq Khan himself is an Islamist, but that he does think that Sadiq Khan doesn't care about London, that he's allowed London to kind of be overrun by, I think, what you're sort of talking about, these sort of very fringe elements that make the capital...
Fringe elements, great word.
That make the capital feel, inhospitable every week when they go on these marches. And I think you don't really get to decide whether you're a racist or not. And that's to do with people who are
impacted. Do you think he's a racist?
Yeah, I do. I think that language was racist. And I think not calling it what it is again, contributes to this heightened rhetoric where we're sort of all dancing around. We're using words like clumsy,
all right,
bad,
but
wrong.
let me put it the other way then to you. He says, treading very, very carefully, because I absolutely agree that his words were clumsy. What I want to ask you is, there are undoubtedly millions of people in this country who want to have a debate about the sorts of things Lee Anderson said. And if we do not accept that as a nation, we are sticking our heads in the sand. I think it needs to be addressed.
Let's have have a conversation, debate around it. Let's not levy abuse at the Mayor of London, who we know receives a disproportionate amount of abuse, death threats. It's not just him, it's his family. Debate the way that those protests, the police...
Vote him out if you don't like him.
Scrutinise the policy all you want, but targeting an individual based on his faith is racist. And Lee Anderson doesn't get to decide whether he's a racist or not. The people who are impacted by his comments do. Like, that is how it works. You don't get to self-identify. I don't imagine he's a fan of that. Anyway, you don't get to tell people whether they're offended by your views or not. And what he did was inflame a debate about a small minority of people who don't have access to the platforms that Lee Anderson does.
And some of the challenge, Jack, for the Conservatives is some of them are saying, oh, what he said was wrong, but they can't define why it was wrong. And maybe the Conservative Party haven't actually got clarity of thought or a vision specifically on what they think went wrong here.
It's so weird, isn't it? We've been going around this with politicians, and you could be grilling a minister yesterday, and none of them seem to be able to say the word Islamophobic whatsoever. Could be a number of reasons.
Terrified about the Red Wall. Terrified.
I think actually they think that a lot of people probably agree with Lee Anderson in what he said, albeit his remarks incredibly clumsy, incredibly over the top, but agree with the underlying sentiment that he expressed. But also, there's an interesting point that Kemi Badenoch made a couple of days ago, where she says that actually we don't really use the term Islamophobic in this party anyway, because we refer to anti-Muslim hatred instead, because Islamophobic, as criticised by some people, essentially suggests that any religion is beyond reproach and you shouldn't be allowed to criticise a religion. She says we do not want to be in that position. Every religion should be up for debate and criticism. And that sort of, speaks to that fact. So if that is the reason why they're not saying it, they need to articulate that point a lot clearer, because at the moment it looks like they're just trying to dodge the subject.
It does.